Hello Internet, and welcome back to my Big Damn TV Geek vlog. It has been a while. I mentioned back in January when I released my last video that I wasn't sure how often I was going to be able to get to this with all the stuff I had going on, taking a class, moving, etc, etc. And I was right, I didn't have much time. But I'm back now, I'm hoping to be on much more of a regular schedule going forward, and I'm really excited about it. This past weekend marked the release of the second season of Netflix's Daredevil series. I have seen the first 6 episodes, so I'm about halfway, and I wanted to take some time to chat about it. I am hoping to release a part 2 of this relatively soon, but that's going to be dependent on how quickly I get through the last half of the season. We'll see. Let's get right into it. First and foremost, can I just say how amazing it is to be back in this universe, spending time with these characters again? The show does all of its crime-fighting, vigilante justice, comic booky stuff so well, and we will talk more about that in a minute. But I was just thrilled to be spending time hanging out with Matt, Foggy, and Karen again. I would totally watch just a straight-up legal procedural that starred Charlie Cox, Eldon Henson, and Deborah Ann Woll as these 3 characters. They have such great chemistry, and it's just such a joy to watch them hang out at the bar or banter with each other at the office, and those are always among my favorite scenes, so it was great to have these characters back. As long as we're talking chemistry amongst our 3 leads, I really love how they've set up Karen and Matt dating. I'm sure it's going to end in disaster at some point. That's just how comic book shows and this universe seem to function. But for now, the chemistry between Charlie Cox and Deborah Ann Woll has been really fun, and it's provided a nice light touch and sense of humor to a show that is otherwise very bleak. So I'm curious to see how that continues. But that's enough about our existing characters for now. I want to talk about the 2 new additions from season 2, Punisher and Elektra. So we're all in agreement that Jon Bernthal was basically born to play Frank Castle, right? The same swagger and attitude and all of that you got from him when he was playing Shane on The Walking Dead serves this role perfectly. As the season has progressed, you've gotten to see him showcase such a terrific variety of emotions, all while the anger and violence streak are bubbling at the surface. As the show has slowly and expertly rolled out the details of his past and how he lost his family and why he's like this, you get to see the sadness, the hurt, the desperation that are making this man who he is, and you almost can't help but feel bad for him. And it's just been an absolutely masterful performance from Jon Bernthal. As of the end of episode 6, I've seen a little bit less of Elektra, but I absolutely think Elodie Yung is doing a great job with that part. The dynamic between Matt and Elektra almost feels like it's existing on a different show, but I mean that in a great way. It's got such a different energy, and they're off doing elaborate heists and all of this stuff that's polar opposite of how Matt and company usually operate. So it's been a nice little jolt of energy for the series. As far as the plot so far, I've really enjoyed how the show has built up the Punisher through the first 6 episodes to this really interesting climax of now Nelson and Murdoch are stuck representing him at trial. At the same time, they've built up the Elektra stuff really well, and you're seeing Matt, by this point, seeming like he's enjoying himself and seeing the 2 of them fall into a rhythm such that you can kind of understand why they have a romantic history. I'm fascinated to see going forward how all of this ends up affecting Matt's relationship with Karen, Matt's relationship with Foggy, the future of Nelson and Murdoch. I think there's going to be a lot of fallout in the second half, and I'm really excited to see it. I cannot possibly spend time talking about Daredevil and not talk about how incredible the action sequences are once again. I didn't think this show could top that amazing hallway fight scene in, I believe, the 2nd episode of season 1, but they proved me wrong. The sequence at the end of episode 3 that took place in a hallway in a stairwell was some of the most amazing fight choreography I've ever seen, and I can't believe this show keeps topping itself. I just absolutely love the grittiness of the action, the gorgeous way this show is shot, and the look and feel of this universe in general. Now that I've gone on and on about how much I've loved season 2, I do have one complaint. It's pretty nitpicky, but I just feel like it's unrealistic at this point that Karen doesn't know that Matt is Daredevil. This is a common comic book trope, the secret identity thing, but given how closely they work together, the kind of things they're working on, and especially now that they're starting a relationship, the idea that Matt hasn't told her yet just seems crazy to me, and I'm guessing it's going to blow up on him in a really big way sooner rather than later. So that's kind of where I'm at after 6 episodes of this 2nd season of Daredevil. What are you guys thinking? How far have you gotten? Are you way more dedicated than me? Did you just watch all 13 episodes all in one big binge? I want to know what you're thinking so far. Let me know in the comments. As always, please like and share this video. Subscribe to my channel so you can keep on watching my vlogs. You can follow me on Twitter at BigDamnTVGeek, and there's a link in the description to my blog, my Facebook page, and the podcast I do now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.